My sister was diagnosed with a disease that has no approved treatment. And as you know, approved treatments only happen after successful clinical trials. That's how I realized that we all depend on clinical trials. But clinical trials are not very successful. Most of them take a lot of time. The majority of them take longer than expected. To be precise, 80% of clinical trials get further delayed. And that comes with a great cost for both the industry and the patients. And according to the Tooth Institute, 60% of these delays are attributed to stringent eligibility criteria. We simply fail to connect the protocols with the patient's reality and their availability. What we're doing is that teams simply lack this global understanding of how people are being treated in the different places, especially when we speak about global clinical trials. They do manual research, back and forth communication. There are tools on the market, but they're very limited in terms of geography coverage and also data coverage. Let's face it, only the United States have claims data and electronic health records at scale, and that's also limited. So my team and I, we thought there should be something better. And that's why we created TrialHub, the first complete standard of care platform that provides insights globally in just a click. Let me give you an example. A few months ago, a sponsor of an ongoing phase 2 clinical trial was struggling with their patient recruitment. Among the countries that they've selected was Romania, as one of the top performing countries in the past. But this time, Romania was not recruiting any patient, and they were struggling to understand why, until TrialHub. Patients that they required actually had to be on a very specific treatment for the past 2 years so that they can be eligible for the trial. And when you go on TrialHub, you can simply see that Romania has approved this as a standard of care only in the past 1 year. There were no eligible patients. For the investigators, that was mission impossible to recruit patients. And that's just one of the many stories how TrialHub helps sponsors and CROs to find where the eligible patients are, to understand how and when they become eligible, and last but not least, to understand what motivates patients to join and stay in a clinical trial. And the best part is that it works. We've already validated with teams that we make them more productive. We take away this manual burden and we help them focus on the trial strategy. And this results into faster patient recruitment. And my really most favorite use case was from last year. In Q1, we managed to save 1.6 million, one of the top pharma companies that we work with, by just preventing an amendment and few extra months of recruitment. And we're, by the way, just announcing a publication to speak about our methodologies and the ways we use standard of care data to achieve that. So if you're as excited as I am, let's talk and let's make clinical trials more successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Maya. Judges, any follow-up question?
With that, can you track pending approvals of products that are going to go on the market? Like you said, it was a 1 year in. Could it have been anticipated from the data you have? And are you able to also identify healthcare coverage trends in those same countries?
So what we do is more on the healthcare coverage. The thing is that, I mean, we work with a lot of American clients. Actually, the majority of our clients are Americans. What they're sometimes missing is that outside of the States, the healthcare systems are structured in completely different ways. So approval is not enough for a treatment to become a standard of care, to be accessible. It has to be reimbursed. It's the same thing like claims data. So yes, that's what we do. We actually follow the reimbursement pathway, and we know when this treatment becomes into actual practice.
My question is, you talked about global insights and used an example from Romania. I want to understand, what's the scope of your standard of care data, and how do you maintain that as it changes over time?
Yeah, so we cover 70 countries. 40 of them are with this direct connection to reimbursement authorities. Each and every country has a different set of institutions. So with help of an internal medical team and external medical advisors, we've mapped out what is the journey from a drug to become reimbursed. And so we automate that thanks to generative AI, NLP, a lot of AI. Let's summarize it like that. And how do we maintain? We're literally connected real time with these authorities. So the moment you go on TrialHub, you know what's happening today, basically. And there is a series of like Q&A, not Q&A, but like QA automations and stuff like that. But it also requires medical expertise to be able to do that.
Thank you, Maya.